Jamie Hummingbird is the chairman of the National Tribal Gaming Commissioners and Regulators. Welcome.
Thank you, Chairman Murkowski, Vice Chairman Schatz, and members of the committee. I thank you for the opportunity to appear before you today on behalf of the National Tribal Gaming Commissioners and Regulators, the men and women that so noted by Vice Chairman Hill, the 6,000 men and women that are effectively regulating tribal gaming across the country today, protecting the integrity of the Indian Gaming Regulatory Act, tribal state compacts, and the federal trust responsibility owed to tribal nations. I appear today because the rapid expansion of sports wagering prediction markets poses an immediate threat to tribal sovereignty, to the integrity of the Indian Gaming Regulatory Act, and to the governmental revenues, as so noted, that go to so many vital tribal services. These products are marketed as financial instruments, purported commodities, derivatives, or swaps. But let's be clear here today and call them by their true name. When you wager something of value on the outcome of a sporting event, it's sports wagering. Relabeling the wager as an event contract or a prediction market or a derivative does not change what it is. If the federal government permits CFTC-regulated platforms to offer sports wagers nationwide outside of tribal and state gaming systems, it will create a federal loophole that bypasses IGRA, undermines tribal state compacts, and displaces nearly 40 years of hard-won intergovernmental cooperation. As I'm sure you are aware, Congress enacted IGRA in 1988 to promote tribal economic development, to promote tribal self-sufficiency, and to promote strong tribal governments while ensuring that tribes remain the primary beneficiaries of gaming on Indian lands. IGRA creates a careful balance among tribal sovereignty, federal oversight, and, for Class 3 gaming, tribal state compacts approved under federal law. For nearly 40 years, sports wagering has fallen squarely within the Class 3 framework and must be conducted through a robust regulatory control made possible through tribal state compacts that are carefully negotiated between sovereign states and tribes. That framework is a federal Indian law success story. Tribal gaming commissions work daily with state regulators in the National Indian Gaming Commission to address licensing, audits, patron protection, game integrity, responsible gaming, facility safety, and compliance. We are a specialized, local, and accountable form of regulation. The CFTC is not a gaming regulator. It does not have the personnel, the field presence, direct patron interaction, geolocation oversight, or surveillance expertise to compare to what the tribal regulators exercise every day. Now, recent market conduct confirms the seriousness of this event. In Nevada, the Nevada Gaming Control Board accepted the surrender of Flutter Entertainment and FanDuel approvals and approved withdrawal requests from DraftKings pending sports wagering applications after concluding that the company's intended sports event contract activity was incompatible with participation in Nevada's gaming industry. Public reporting likewise states that DraftKings and FanDuel abandoned or withdrew Nevada licensing efforts while pursuing prediction market products. This is not a technical licensing footnote. It is evidence that major national sportsbook operators understand prediction markets as an alternative path around traditional gaming regulation. The economic impact is equally direct and harmful. Indian gaming revenues are at risk. They fund all of our essential services that we provide to our tribal citizens. The prediction market platforms extract value from the local communities without comparable compact obligations, tribal licensing, state and tribal revenue sharing obligations, or dedicated contributions to problem gaming mitigation. Consumer protection is also at stake. Tribal gaming regulators enforce licensing, internal controls, annual audits, responsible gaming safeguards, age and identity verification, as well as market integrity protections. Prediction market sports contracts do not have an equivalent protection. A national loophole for sports wagers under a financial label risks underage participation, inadequate geofencing, and weak responsible gaming protections. Federal consultations obligations reinforce the need for caution. Policies that have substantial direct effects on tribal nations. The federal-tribal relationship or the distribution of power among sovereigns requires meaningful government-to-government consultation. And consultation cannot occur after an agency has already allowed markets to develop in a manner that impairs tribal gaming authority. It must be timely, it must be substantive, and it must be capable of affecting the outcome. The NTGCR respectfully asks Congress to act quickly and decisively. At first, Congress should make clear that sports-related and casino-style event contracts are gaming products when they involve staking value on uncertain outcomes for a possible payout. Second, Congress should enact express savings language confirming that nothing in the Commodity Exchange Act, the Clarity Act, or any federal market structure legislation preempts, supersedes, impairs, or limits IGRA, tribal gaming laws, tribal state compacts, or other tribal, state, and federal gaming protections. And Congress must also direct the CFTC to halt the self-certification or approval of sports-related event contracts until the agency completes formal government-to-government consultation with tribal nations and coordinates with the National Indian Gaming Commission and tribal gaming regulatory authorities. Federal financial regulation must never be used to gloss over or erase tribal sovereign gaming jurisdiction by means of regulatory rebranding. Now, the question before policymakers is not whether innovation should be allowed. Tribal nations, who have been longtime proponents of the rule of law, have supported innovation, if not have led the way in innovation in the gaming industry through lawful gaming environments. The question today is, should private platforms be allowed to use financial market terminology to avoid gaming law, to bypass tribal regulators, undermine tribal state compacts, and siphon governmental revenues from Native communities? The answer must and should be an emphatic no. On behalf of the NTGCR and the tribal gaming regulators who protect the industry of Indian gaming every day, I respectfully ask this committee to defend IGRA, uphold the federal trust responsibility, require the CFTC and other companion federal agencies to engage in meaningful tribal consultation, and ensure that no federal agency or private market actor is permitted to erode tribal sovereignty through prediction market rebranding. I thank you again for the opportunity to share this information with you and appreciate the meaningful and long-lasting impacts the prediction markets and sports betting will have on Indian country, as well as the nation as a whole.
Thank you.